And we are live. So thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching the live or watching the replay. This is another episode of the Digital Dreamers Spotlight interview series. And today we have the lovely Suzette, and I'm going to let her tell us a little more about herself. Over to you.
Hi, Elden. Thank you for having me. Okay, my name is Suzette. I am originally from Barbados, but now I am living in maybe about 30 minutes east of Toronto. I've been in Canada for almost my whole life, since I was five and a half. Um, I am a single parent of two adult children, a boy and a girl. I work part-time as a medical lab technician slash phlebotomist, if you don't know what that is. I stick people with needles and take their blood.
Oh,
So patients are never happy to see me. Yeah. And I am a digital business owner.
that is very cool. So thank you very much for being here, Suzette. And it's great. And I didn't know that's what those people were called who take blood and stuff.
Phlebotomist. Yeah.
See, that's a very fascinating thing. I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
And just so you know, people like you don't scare me. I'm
Okay, good.
I'm one of the few people who have no issue with people taking my blood.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
it doesn't even phase me actually. So that's a good thing. So let's talk a little bit about how long. I think it's very cool that you've been here most of your life. That's in Canada. That's very fascinating. And then the other thing is, so um, so your kids were both, well, really, they were raised here too, then, right?
Yes, they were. Yes.
And so my first question would be, I'm trying to be good because I'm supposed to stick to questions that me and her agreed on for anybody who's watching live, and it's humorous because Eldon doesn't do that well sometimes, but he's going to. So,
Okay.
so my first question is, what made you decide to start this business? Like, were you looking for something, or did you just kind of stumble upon it and say, okay, this is for me?
I actually stumbled upon it. Quick backstory.
Hmm.
Originally, I was going to start. Okay, let me go back further.
Okay.
In 2015, I was unemployed for one whole year, from June 2015 to June 2016. And it is exhausting to be unemployed, if anyone knows. Like,
Yeah.
it's mentally and emotionally exhausting. Every day I have to become more and more creative. Like, where can I apply for jobs today? How can I fix my resume today? And I think when I not think I know when I was unemployed, that's when I became business minded. So like I wanted to start making shampoo and conditioner and like a whole hair care line. But then I thought
Cool.
I don't know enough about hair to do that, so scrap that. Then I thought then I thought I'm gonna make body wash because I love body wash. I put a couple of things together, didn't work out well, forget that. So I decided to do a lip care line. So I was making lip glosses, not lip gloss, lip balm, lip scrubs, and lip oils. And I started buying all the ingredients that I needed, making these things, and then I ran out of money. So I
Yeah.
had to put that on the on the back burner as well. And one day I was on YouTube, as I am every day, and I saw this ad with this young lady, Samantha, who is now my coach. She might be watching. Um, and you know when you're watching something and an ad comes up and you're just waiting with your finger to press that skip ad button?
Yeah.
I was doing that. I was waiting for her to for the button to pop up. And then she said she was in Toronto. So she got my attention and I never hit skip ad. I clicked on the I clicked where she said to click, and it took me a while to get started, but I did, and here I am.
I think that's a fantastic story, actually. And I really do, because I mean, you were, when you were unemployed, you were looking for something that you needed to find to do it, and you wanted to look for something to do your own business. So
Yeah.
I chuckled with you because I've done many, 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 many things. over the years, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, or sometimes I get tired of them. And one of them is actually very similar to you. Um,
Okay.
so there was a time many years ago that we were in the soap making business,
Oh,
and so we made soap and we did trade shows and along with that we did essential oils as well as with essential oils we also did some of the body washes and so on and so
okay.
forth. So and um, and I did like it for but kind of like you. Well, the money didn't really run out because it was doing okay, but at the same time I got so tired of doing all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you're so not only are you trying to do the marketing and selling, but you're also having to make the products.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And that there was a time where we finally quit, and it's like I just didn't want to touch anything else to make anything between right. So I can relate to how you came about that. So um, when and that would have been really challenging to actually go through that, and that's when you kind of decided that you needed something different, which is
Yes.
um, and then I totally relate to you and your finger on the skip button.
Yeah.
Because so I mean, let's face it, those ads, you wait for that time and you look and you wait and you click. And
Yep.
I think that it's fantastic that you didn't click. Uh, but I do find it fascinating that because she said she was in Toronto is what caught your attention.
Yeah.
So um, why did that grab your attention the way that it did? Was it
Because
just
she was
because? Go ahead.
because she was close by. Like when I see these ads, I think these people are in the US or some faraway country. And she said she was right here. So I'm like, okay, let me see what this is about.
See, I find see, and because we are all attracted in different ways, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, I saw a friend as well as a few other people who I was going, okay, well, if they're doing stuff, I could do it too. And I didn't care where, but it's interesting because I didn't care where they were. I didn't even actually pay attention to where they were. Um,
Okay.
but at the same time, I know that people feel the same way as you do. Like it's nice to see somebody local or somebody um, in the same country or the same province or the same state, depending on where you are,
Yeah.
that's doing it because that gives you a little more belief that it's possible for you, right?
Right. Right.
So, well, I'm glad you didn't push skip, and I'm sure your coach is too.
Yeah.
um, so, what has been your biggest challenge so far?
Well, I like to think that I am an organized person. Like I like to plan things and organize things. But
Yeah.
my biggest challenge right now is being organized, staying organized. Yeah.
Well, that's I don't. Okay, there's so many things I can say to that. Um, because I mean, there's times where you can't see it, but I have friends who bug me all the time is because my desk is quite dirty. Like, well, not dirty, but my it has little notes on all over the place,
Yeah.
and it's kind of humorous because they give me a hard time all the time and say, "How do you even find anything?" And I said, "Just don't touch anything, and I'll know where it is."
Yeah.
So
It's an organized mess.
yeah, it is. I mean, I know exactly how to find something, but or
Yeah.
where I put it, but don't anybody else touch it. So I think all of us have different levels of organization and so on and so forth, depending on what's happening in our lives at the time, is what I think. But so okay, so if that's your biggest challenge, well, hopefully, and I'm sure you will get it, back to where you want it to be. Um,
Yeah.
what did you find the easiest?
The easiest is social media because I was already on social media, so I know how to use it. There are people in this business who have never been on social media and they have to learn how to use it. And that might be a challenge for them. But I already knew how to use it, so that was easy.
So okay, now I'm just going to stay on that topic. So when you say you use social media, what were your favorite platforms to use?
Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to backtrack a little bit because you did surprise me on one thing, and being a nosy person that I am, or curious, I guess curious is a better way to put it. You said you go on YouTube every day.
Yes.
Okay. So, being someone who doesn't go on YouTube every day, why do you go on YouTube?
I like to watch the videos. I like to learn new things.
So you use YouTube as kind of like a resource place for you to go and learn things.
Mostly for entertainment. But if I
Okay.
want to figure out something or learn something, I'll just type in whatever it is, and somebody's made a video about it, whatever the topic is.
Okay, because that's really cool. So I'm one of these people who I don't really go to YouTube that often, or if I do, it is exactly to find a how to do something video.
Yeah,
But I have friends who they go to YouTube just like you all the time, and they will watch endless shows on YouTube,
yeah.
and I just never got in that. So I had to check to see whether that was you too. So that's very kind of fascinating. Um, and I think that, but you're right. So because there's a lot of people in our business who may or may not have had social media or Facebook in any way, shape, or form. But the one thing that I think is good for them all, and I think you would agree, is that our training actually helps people who haven't had any experience, right?
Right.
And so, did when you were going through the training, did you learn anything new that you didn't know? Do you know what about social media specifically?
About
You,
social media.
yeah, either and there is no wrong answer for this. This is just curiosity.
But it's funny you ask me that because again, back to YouTube, I learned in the training how to upload videos on YouTube. I didn't know how to do that before. I mean, I was just watching it for entertainment. I wasn't putting videos up.
Okay, that
Yeah,
and that's see, it taught you something about another platform that you weren't familiar with,
yeah,
right? That counts. But there's nothing new that the Facebook um, that was really in regards to Facebook or Instagram that you didn't know. So that means, sorry, you can answer that and then I'll say something.
um, ads on you on Facebook. I didn't know how to do ads.
Okay, that
Yeah,
that was that was going to be my question. Was that
right.
was it? So I mean, you answered that. So that's perfect, actually. Um, so my other question is when you were when you were looking at the YouTube video and then you went through all the process to actually see what was happening with it, was there anything so because we're all human, you automatically have expectations as to what you think the business is and what's going to happen and blah 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 blah. Um, so did it turn out to be the same thing that you were expecting?
I didn't know what the business was about when I watched the initial webinar. I didn't know.
Okay, that's
So
so this is very kind of fascinating. So you well it is really I like it. So you were just looking because you wanted all the information then, right?
right, right,
And you were being open to whatever that might be because you wanted to learn.
right.
So for you, which is it's interesting that you because when it comes to what you're talking about, you do love to learn things, don't you?
I do.
And so I think that this business is actually you went on a journey to learn what it was all about, and now you are one,
Right.
right? And I think that that is so cool because a lot of people when they come in, you went with the flow, but a lot of people when they come in, they have expectations of what they think it will be, and honestly, in most cases, though, they're all wrong. And it's not because of anything else, but it's basically because they think one way, and that's as they go through the learning process and training and everything, they realize that there's much more to it than what they first thought, or there's less to it than what they thought, depending on who the people
Right.
are. Which is always kind of one of those very cool things that I love to watch people go through. So um, now for you, um, you're doing this for your future as well. I mean, everybody does this for their future for the business. Is there one thing that you're I don't know looking I don't know if the right word is looking forward to is there something that you have a goal to do um, like usually when we get into this business we have a long-term goal, right? So it's like maybe you're going to retire, maybe you're going to travel, or is there anything like that that you're looking forward to?
Actually, looking forward to those two very things, retirement and travel. I want to go all over the world, but I'm kind of get scared when I get on a plane, but I want to try, I want to travel anyway. And also, I would like to buy properties and rent them out as Airbnbs.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you definitely have plans as you're going, which is fantastic.
yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna wrap this up now. And my quick question to you is, um, do you have what would you tell somebody? No, I'll go a different way. So if you were you when a while ago when you signed up and became a business owner, would you do it again?
For sure.
And what would you tell somebody who might be watching and they're sitting on a fence and going, "Well, what is she talking about? How what is it?"
I would say take the leap of faith and just jump in.
Yeah.
That's what I did because I didn't know what this was about when I started.
And that's very cool actually. So and I would say the same thing. Honestly, is like you don't know until you actually experience it, until you
Right,
start going through it. And I really like how you did it when you said that you weren't sure, so but you kept going. And I think that that is the one thing that people do tend to forget that they should, because in a lot of people, especially when as they're going through life, they kind of stop looking around and they stop thinking that there's possibilities. But we are full of possibilities. And so the one thing that I tell people, and it's all designed for you, the viewer, or the person who might be looking for something different, and maybe they aren't even looking. But if there's something that isn't well in your life that you're looking for change, it starts somewhere, right?
right,
And this is a great place to start. So you can reach out to wherever you're watching this from, on whose ever page, whatever platform, doesn't really matter. Just reach out to the person and actually take the next step, and that's ask questions, do whatever. But then we'll send you to a website that you can watch an information session. And then you know our 149 USD fee is 30-day money back guarantee. So really there's nothing to lose in our knowledge accumulation, I guess is what we should say, as you go through the process to see if this is right for you. You are in total control, and that is the main thing. And we're just here to help you, right?
right, right.
So, on that note, thank you all for watching, whether you watched the replay or whether you are watching the live. And you have a great day. And thank you again, Suzette, for being here. I really,
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye.